Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 live on Channels Television Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Court remands AAC presidential candidate Omoyele Sowore and his partner Wale Bakare in DSS custody over alleged treasonable felony and conspiracy to carry out revolution protest aimed at removing the president. Gunmen disrupt legislative activities in Bayelsa State House of Assembly as lawmakers allegedly impeach Speaker. Tonight, Nigeria's foreign relations comes under spotlight as we review the country's diplomatic ties and agreements ahead of the independence anniversary. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky doubtful of publishing Kiev's version of a Trump phone call transcript amid impeachment threats. For more information on our top stories and others, please visit our website, channelstv.com. youtube.com/channelsweb has videos of our shows. And we do have some of the stories you sent into our eyewitness portal. Our first is from Uturu in Isikwato local government area of Abia State, showing the effect of gully erosion. This gully, our eyewitness reports, has become a death trap, and so residents have had to avoid using this area because of that. He wants both the state and federal government to save their community from collapse. Next is this set of images from Afolabi Brown Akoka in Yaba area of Lagos State, showing shots of the community taken over by flood. Our eyewitness laments what residents suffer whenever it rains. She says it's been like that for as long as she can remember. According to her, the flood even goes as far as entering their homes. She wants the Lagos State government to find a permanent solution to the problem. And for our last entry is a video from Bayo Oshinowo Street in Ogudu area of Lagos, showing a swamp boogie working on the desilting of their drain. Our eyewitness says this exercise is through communal efforts after several pleas to the government for intervention went unheeded. They, however, want the government to give them a helping hand. Thank you for sending in those stories. And since tomorrow is the country's independence anniversary celebration, do send in your stories and how you're marking the day. Let's talk some more now about aspects of Nigeria's foreign policy. I'm being joined on the news at 10 by the Director General of Bolitac Center for Diplomacy and Strategic Studies, Professor Bola Akinteriwa. He joins us from the Yaba area of Lagos. Professor, thank you for joining us on the news at 10. Professor Akinteriwa, Nigeria has regained prominence back at the UN General Assembly. This is happening more than 30 years since she occupied the position of president of the... Great. I do hope you hear there's a delay, actually. Nigeria becomes president of the UN General Assembly 30 years after she occupied the position, more than 30 years after she occupied the position. Is she returning to that place of prominence in the Committee of Nations, with President Buhari addressing the UNGA as the 5th speaker this year?
I think for reasons of psychology of human differences, I look at it differently. I don't think that the question of prominence at all. It's a question of rotation. That's what is happening. When Yogaba was 44th president, we negotiated. What happens in the UN system is that the position is zoned with a particular region.
We do sincerely apologize. As you can hear, the trouble with the audio. We'll be returning to this conversation later. President Muhammadu Buhari says all Nigerians deserve fair justice delivery in spite of ethnic, religious, or political affiliations. The president made the declaration at the official commissioning of the annex building of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria in Abuja, where he appealed to the three arms of government to live up to their collective duties by ensuring that the rights of Nigerians are safeguarded. Our correspondent Gloria Mezoke has more.
Zero tolerance for corruption.
President Muhammadu Buhari is received by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko Mohammed, former Chief Justices of the Federal Republic, and other top government officials at the Annex building of the National Industrial Court, which is set for commissioning. Outgoing president of the court, Justice Babatunde Adejumo, the third president of the 25-year-old industrial court, explains reasons behind the persistent delay in the nation's justice system.
Sir, as we speak, we have 1,200 judges and justices and judges all over the country, starting from the Supreme Court to the trial courts. This is why people believe, wrongly, sir, that there is justice delay in the courts. It's never the fault of the judges. Some of our judges are dying because they have been overworked. Approval should be given to the CGN to appoint more judges across board so that justice can be delivered.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria appealed to the president for more support.
With improved budgetary allocation to the judiciary, and by extension, the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, the main building of the headquarters can be completed and put to use in good time.
President Muhammadu Buhari reiterates his commitment to fund the judicial sector.
All Nigerians, regardless of ethnicity, religion, and politics, deserve peaceful and prosperous lives. While these basic rights are trumped upon, Nigerians deserve fair justice delivery. It is therefore our collective duty to work collaboratively to ensure that such rights are safeguarded. You will all recall that in 2014, the entire budgetary allocation to the judiciary was 68 billion naira. Today, the judiciary budgetary allocation has gone up to 100 billion naira. Rest assured that we shall continue to adequately fund the judiciary to ensure it is enabled to discharge its responsibilities.
About 10,000 cases have accumulated in this industrial court in the last 2 to 3 years, out of which only 700 have been resolved owing to inadequate number of judges in the system. They're asking the president to augment their current budget, which is about 100 billion naira to 150 billion naira, for better service delivery in the judicial sector. From Abuja, Gloria Umezuki, Channels Television News.
It is the eve of Nigeria's 59th independence anniversary, and messages are already pouring in from leaders and friends of the country. The former vice president and presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the last election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, is one of those who has sent in messages, and he's expressed his worries, saying that the country is not doing well. Alhaji Abubakar says, October 1st, 1960, our nation's founding fathers could never have fathomed the 59 years after birthing the largest black nation on earth, we would be facing a situation where we do not have a free press, our judiciary being under attack, and our youth and activists, who should ordinarily be the future of Nigeria, will be facing the very real threat of arrest and intimidation should they speak out about the state of the nation. The statement also said that now is the time for all lovers of Nigeria to take concrete steps to aid the country's progress by not just praying and showing understanding, but also taking democratic action to ensure that the ideals of Nigeria's founding fathers, which are unity, faith, peace, and progress, are not set aside on the altar of tyranny. U.S. President Donald Trump has congratulated Nigeria on the eve of a 59th independence anniversary. In a letter delivered by the U.S. mission in Nigeria, President Trump emphasized the strong partnerships that exist between the U.S. and Africa, and the common goal of an expansion of trade and economic relations. He played up efforts by the partners towards eradicating insurgency groups like the Boko Haram and ISIS in West Africa. President Trump also welcomed Nigeria's efforts at diversifying her economy and opening up opportunities for talented, creative, and hardworking people to benefit both countries, the African continent, and the world, and also expressed pleasure at the growing cooperation between Nigeria and the United States. Let's turn attention to security. The Nigerian Army's counterinsurgency operation Lafia Dole Theatre Command says its officers have arrested a middle-aged man alleged to be the supplier for the insurgents group Boko Haram. Army operatives caught the suspect en route Baga town, heading towards the Lake Chad region with contraband goods. After being paraded before journalists, his goods and vehicle were destroyed. The GOC 7 Division Brigadier General Aliyu Ibrahim said the suspect had also attempted to bribe personnel at the point of arrest and during interrogation. But the suspect denied the accusations, insisting that his business is legitimate and that he never attempted to bribe his way out of the arrest.
There has been a ban on the use of motorcycles in the theater because of the security challenges we are facing and the fact that we know that the Boko Haram terrorists make use of machines in moving for operations. And that was why the decision was taken. Nobody is allowed to make use of machine. And this man was arrested with these items heading towards the Lake Chad region. Now, you know, in that area, the Boko Haram terrorists are active around that side. And we feel there is something fishy about this. That is why we made this arrest. He also attempted to bribe our men when the arrest was made, and even while being interrogated, he made several attempts to bribe the men.
There's nobody that I attempted to bribe. What I told them about the constitution of this nation, where Judiciary can pass a law where they can judge and people are not obeying it. So I told him that this thing, I don't know, let him tell me what I can do. Because this thing, I told him that even the people in Mongonu, they are jazz and other people, they know about me.
Meanwhile, the police in the Federal Capital Territory have confirmed the killing of 3 suspected one-chance operators by an angry mob in Dutse Al-Haji, a suburb of the nation's capital. According to a statement issued by the spokesperson for the FCT Police Command, Anjuguri Manza, the suspected one-chance robbers were burned to death by the angry mob following an alarm raised by their yet-to-be-identified victim. The statement further states that the police has commenced investigation into the situation while condemning the mob action. According to eyewitnesses, the suspected robbers had picked up their victim, a lady, and dispossessed her of her belongings, after which they reportedly pushed her out of the car. But they were unable to escape as other motorists blocked them from advancing into the highway. When the news at 10 returns, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky doubtful of publishing Kiev's version of Trump phone call transcripts and impeachment threats. That's on the international scene with Around the World in 5. Join us again.